Okay, so we're back with another look. Emma, complete change. What's the inspiration here?
The inspiration here is obviously we've shown you the chic kind of chateau wedding and keeping it elegant, whereas there are a lot of reasons to have, obviously contradicting myself a little bit with hair down, because
But there's still going to be brides that want that, aren't there?
there are brides that want to have their hair down, they do feel more comfortable, and obviously in the cooler months they can have it down and it can be kind of floaty, kind of that boho luxe look. They want the outdoor, obviously the outdoor wedding, that's why a lot of people marry in France. We've gone for your loose kind of beachy subtle waves, but if you can just turn around for me, Megan, we've incorporated some braids, but they're like the fat braids now, big chunky braids, but obviously to then add some texture, you know, we've added some sort of little fine braids that as she's walking people will see it just adds a little bit of detail and just a little bit softer, and obviously a bit more for the evening as well, just to glam it up a little bit.
And this look would look fantastic at a beachside wedding, you know, Australia, anywhere like that.
But also obviously in the south of France as well, because it's so versatile here, and obviously when it's hot as well, you know, keeping half of the hair up, or
so it keeps you cooler as well.
And it's not falling into the face.
And it's not just
nothing worse.
Nothing's pulled back tight and it's not dragged back, it's just quite soft. You know, you can have as much volume and as much height as you like, but for again keeping it soft and bridal, we've gone for quite a loose wave.
Well, I think it's lovely. That sort of look does appeal to me. And as you say, you've kept it away from the forehead so that it doesn't make her too hot, although you've got it the length at the back.
This kind of style as well tends to complement the kind of boho dresses that tend to be outside, so quite loose and floaty, keeping it light for, again, the weather. So it frames your face as well, so it's nice
very
style.
pretty. So moving on to the makeup, what have you done differently this time?
Well, again, we've straightened the eye, as we talked about before, really to harken back to the runways from the last bridal shows that have just been on, to keep the eyes bold, keep that fresh face, but not go for the red lipstick, because it's not going to work for Megan. But also, if we're talking a boho bride, she's unlikely to have a red lip in any case. She's going to want something more neutral.
Really work with that trend, does it? No.
And what you have to bear in mind is when you're on the beach, if we're talking beachy looks as well, a bolder eye can sometimes work really, really well, because you've got the light reflecting off the sea. So there's quite a lot for a photographer to deal with. So to really accentuate the eyes, to keep it a little bit deeper and darker does help. And it's also one that works through, much like the hair, into the evening. It's a very easy transition for the bride.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And it's certainly, I like the accentuating of the eyes. It really does look attractive, and it just gives it a bit more punch, doesn't it?
No, it just goes to show that, yes, there is that classic, elegant French chateau look, but you don't have to go down that route. You can do something a little bit different if your wedding is going to have a little bit of an edge to it. If you're not really a natural girl and you really are a makeup girl, this is a really good alternative to do the full-on makeup, making the eyes a little bit bolder, more of a statement there rather than all over, and still keeping that bridal look and elegance.
Which at the end of the day, everybody does want to try and achieve without going too over the top. I mean, there's always the alternative look, as we've seen with Rock and Roll Bride and places like that. You know, there's room for that as well. But obviously, when we're talking in general, we're looking more at those traditional looks.
And we have to think about how things work in France as well. What works in LA or San Francisco or New York is not necessarily going to work in Provence or in the southwest of France or even on the Riviera. So yes, we have to balance every look that we create for our brides and marry it to the surroundings, not only of the venue they're getting married in, but also the environment around, because I think you can have something that would look very juxtaposed.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a possibility of making it look a little bit odd in its environment. So,
well, all fantastic looks that you've given us and tips and advice. We certainly now know what to do when we're in France and we're looking at a French wedding and the different styles that you can have. Both of you have contributed to the International Trend Report, so we're excited to read your trend predictions there. Don't want to give away too much, but thank you for taking time to talk to us about just some of the different things that you can look out for when it comes to hair and makeup, because some of the things you've talked about there aren't things I would necessarily think about. So Good tips, good advice. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Don't forget that if you want to know more about the trends for 2018, you need to subscribe to the International Wedding Trend Report, which you can do by going to our website, www.weddingacademyglobal.com.